Just over 1 year ago, I was laid off from my job in tech, and since then, like many others, I have not been able to find a new full-time job. But that actually might be for the better, because my career has advanced significantly since losing my job, because I have had the opportunity to consult for companies ranging from Y-Combinator startups all the way to high-profile hospitals and universities. And all of this happened because I decided to spend an equal amount of time and effort both looking for a new job and freelancing at the same time. Early last year, while I had no luck in finding a new job, my freelance work started to pick up steam, leading to me completely abandoning my search for a new job. And while there are other reasons that I stopped looking for a job, which I'll explain later in the video, the biggest reason to look for a new job, which was my income, was taken care of by my stream of consulting work. But first of all, what happened before all this that led to me getting laid off? See, a few years ago, I did not work in big tech, and I actually worked in live production at a local church here in Las Vegas. While I was working at the church, I picked up data analytics and started freelancing on a website called Upwork in order to earn some supplemental income. This actually led to me getting a full-time job offer, coincidentally exactly 1 week after I put in my 2 weeks notice at the church. I was super excited at the idea of getting to work full-time for my favorite client, so of course I accepted that job offer right away. I started the new position and everything was great for almost a year until, due to some strategic restructuring by the company's leadership, a large portion of the employees had to be let go, myself included. This was really sad, but I was given a generous severance, and I really have nothing bad to say about the company or any of my former coworkers. And that's saying a lot because I'm naturally a very critical person. So anyway, I spent the beginning of 2024 jobless, convinced that I needed to find another full-time role. I was refreshing LinkedIn and Indeed every morning and talking to recruiters who all told me the same thing. Hang tight, the job market is tough right now. And on top of this, I saw LinkedIn posts by people who had been looking for jobs for 6 months, a year, and they had way more qualifications and experience than I did. So it was at this point that I decided that I would continue to look for jobs, but I would also split my efforts between job searching and drumming up freelance work on Upwork like I did before I got the full-time job. And honestly, I'm so glad that I did, because here's what I've learned over the past year of freelancing almost full-time. The first thing is that I think jobs are going away. People act shocked whenever they see massive layoffs, but this cycle is nothing new. If you look at history, every time technology advances or the market gets tighter, companies find new ways to automate tasks and cut costs. Think about how bank tellers were replaced by ATM machines and how cashiers at fast food restaurants were replaced by self-service kiosks. And now a lot of the more technical and customer service roles are being replaced by new software and AI agents. It's been happening right in front of us, and it's not going to reverse anytime soon, in my opinion. So anyway, if you're waiting around for the job market to go back to the way it was in 2021 or 2022, you might be waiting a very long time. The second thing that I learned was not to underestimate the mental impact of not having an income. The hardest part of this whole transition was not actually the hard reality of not having a job. It was how hard it was for me to deal with it mentally. Even though we were in a good spot financially and I was lucky to have a good amount of money saved up, I had lots of extra time to sit around and think about how I wasn't making any money and our savings was getting less and less, and that I felt like I was not making any progress in life. That feeling of not making any progress really chipped away at my confidence, and it was tough to recover from. Even though I'm a person with no shortage of confidence, I found myself second-guessing my decisions a lot more, and it made it difficult to continue down the path of freelancing full-time until things started to take off. And the third thing that I learned is that freelancing will usually turn out to be a better career, because initially, freelancing was just a means to an end for me. It was my backup plan until I found a new full-time role. But the more I took on new projects and clients, the more I realized the financial upside and the freedom that comes with freelancing full-time. Not only do you get to set your own schedule and work from anywhere, in most cases, you have the potential to make way more money as a typical 9-to-5 W-2 employee. And this last year has really proven that to me. Just looking back on the last few months, I've been able to consult for 2 different Y-Combinator startups, a prestigious university, hospitals, big marketing firms, and a whole bunch of different types of companies. And doing this has given me a much wider variety of experience than I would have had if I had not gotten laid off from my full-time role last year. So now looking forward, what I hope to do with freelancing going so well is to build an analytics agency on top of my current contract work. I've been trying to accelerate this over the last few weeks by joining Eamon Gadgey's mastermind because I wanted to steal from people who have already made this transition successfully, building agencies where they've brought on team members, standardized process, and serve bigger clients to a higher capacity than they would have been able to do on their own. And I truly think that this is going to be the future of work for a lot of people, transitioning from W-2 to full-time freelancer, whether by accident or by choice, to an agency owner. So if you're feeling down about not being able to find a new job or worried that the job market might never go back to the way it was before, you might not need to feel that way. The work is still out there, it's just in different forms. And while this shift towards automation and AI means that there are fewer traditional roles, it also means a ton of opportunity for people who are able to adapt quickly and learn new skill sets. And that it is easier than ever to start your own business. I hope that my experience being jobless for a year has opened your eyes to how freelancing can be a good career boost. And if you want to hear more about my freelance journey, then feel free to check out my channel where I share more about my experience freelancing full-time and how I would recommend that you transition into a full-time freelance lifestyle.